my lovely friends, welcome to this tutorial here about Chinstand today. My name is Kate and yeah, I have been requested to do a Chinstand tutorial. It's one of my favorite yoga poses. It's a very good back strengthener, arm strengthener, all of this kind of stuff, but you do have to be a little bit careful as it is categorized as an advanced asana or an advanced yoga pose. So if you are beginner to yoga, this perhaps is not the tutorial for you. And yeah, if you haven't already got an established yoga practice, you might be tempted to give this a try and push and force yourself into shapes that your body is not ready for. And this is never a good idea. Sometimes the most advanced thing that you can do in your yoga practice is simply lie down and take a child's pose or lie on your back. Yeah, this is, as long as you're connected to your body and to your breathing, advanced yoga is simply being present with where you are right now and being okay with it, okay? So that being said, that does not mean that you cannot have goals or want to achieve things. That's totally fine, but don't let pushing and forcing get in the way of mindful movement, okay? Mindful movement is the #1 priority in what I'm teaching you here in this channel and what we're doing, okay? So that being said, if you want to give this a go, please do. I trust you to just take responsibility for yourselves, okay? As this is an advanced yoga asana, okay? So my friends, for support today, you might want to have a couple of yoga blocks with you or a couple of big thick books or a stack of books. This is also fine, okay? And we're going to use those underneath the shoulders as we practice our shoulder stand, okay? Our chin stand, sorry. Right, so what we're going to do first is warm the spine. So if you know cat-cow pose, please go ahead, take a few rounds of cat-cow. If you don't know what cat-cow is, this is not the tutorial for you. So go ahead, warm up your spine, take a few rounds of cat-cow movements, please. When you are done, sitting back on your heels and taking a moment, we will go through a couple of preparatory exercises. So if you are familiar with a yoga practice, you will probably know knees, chest, and chin to the floor, okay? This is a great preparation for chin stand, okay? So as we're going through our sun salutations, we come from a plank, we put the knees down, and we bring the chest and the chin between the hands. Yeah. So, okay, the difference here is that the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. In chin stand, you want your hands to be a little bit further back from your shoulders, okay? So you want the forearms to stay at roughly a 90-degree angle, okay? So from here, what you can do is begin by bringing your knees down to the floor, take your blocks and place them on the inside of your hands and just bring your chest down so that your shoulders are kind of resting on your blocks. Okay, so you might want to just move your blocks however you wish to have them so that your shoulders are fully supported here as you bring your chin to the floor. Okay, now notice where your hands are and then step them back a little bit on your mat. Yeah, so that your hands are kind of behind your blocks, your fingertips are facing forwards, and your elbows are squeezing in towards your body, okay? Now the blocks are underneath your shoulders to give you a bit of support so you're not so heavy on the chin, because if you're not used to practicing this, your chin can get a bit bruised, yeah, and you can feel it afterwards, okay? So from here, we're going to imagine that the forearms have stayed pretty parallel to the floor. Your hands have stepped back a little bit towards your hips. Your chin is on the mat. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up. Yeah? From here, walk your feet in as far as they'll go. Bring the chin really to the floor. Squeeze your elbows in and underneath your rib cage. Maybe hold here. Maybe lift one leg to the sky. and then release. And then the other one. And then release. Bring your knees down to the floor. Sit back on your heels and take a moment to see how that felt. The trick is to squeeze your elbows in underneath your rib cage. Yeah? So your hands, they can turn outwards a little bit. That's totally fine. Your shoulders can poke down a little bit towards the floor. Totally fine. So what we're going to try to do is bring the hips over the elbows. So your elbows are squeezing in underneath your rib cage, and you're actually supporting the weight of your body as you lift up. You need flexibility in your hamstrings for this one. And you also need a certain amount of strength in the shoulders and a certain amount of back strength. So cobra, locust, all of these things are great warm-up preparatory exercises for chin stand. And you are really on the tip of your chin, okay? So you're not on your throat, you're really on the tip of your chin. Okay, now you might, after practicing, you might find that you have a sore chin for a couple of days, and that's just totally normal, okay? Don't worry about it. With time, as you practice, you're not going to need the blocks anymore. But the trick really is to bring your hands further back underneath your body, closer towards your hips, squeeze your elbows in towards you, and try to imagine getting your hips as high above your elbows as you possibly can. Okay, so we can come back. We're going to bring the chin down to the floor and the shoulders onto your blocks. Step your knees as close or as far away as feels good, and squeeze those elbows in underneath your lower rib cage. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your right leg to the sky, and then maybe come up high on the tippy toes of your left foot and take a couple of little hops. Come on back down. Sit on your heels and take a moment. You can wiggle everything out if you need to. You can also interlace your fingers behind the back of your head and just stretch out your neck a little from here, if you felt that in the back of your neck. So we'll come down, we'll do the other side. Bring your shoulders to the blocks, chin to the floor. Tuck your toes, squeeze your elbows in, lift your knees. Left leg to the sky, high on the tippy toes of your right foot. Little hops. Keep your top leg super strong, super engaged, and then come on back. Well done. Take a moment here. If you need to stretch out your neck, please do. And if rolling straight up onto your knees doesn't fit with your body, feel free to take a child's pose. You can always pop your head down on the floor. If you find that rolling up after being upside down creates you to be dizzy or causes you to be dizzy, simply take child's pose instead. Totally fine. From here, guys, we will try to lift both of our legs into the sky. Really make sure that your blocks are supporting your shoulders. They're at the right height setting so that you feel supported. Your chin is also quite heavy on the floor, yeah, but you're being supported by your blocks. Your hands are kind of behind your blocks, your shoulders more towards the front, and your elbows are squeezing in underneath your rib cage. So bring your shoulders down to your blocks, chin to the mat. Tuck your toes, lift your heels, squeeze your elbows in, super strong underneath your body. Walk your feet in. Raise one leg, maybe the other one. Press into the floor with your hands. Press into the floor with your hands. Squeeze your elbows in. Extend your legs super long. Maybe bend your knees. Squeeze your bum. And then slowly come on out. Well done. Child's pose, or sit on your heels. And take a moment to chill. Now, my friends, because your shoulders are on the blocks, you you hopefully feel relatively stable, so you're not going to overbalance, okay? So having books or blocks or a pile of books under your shoulders for the beginning will hopefully make you feel like you're not going to fall over, yeah? In fact, chin stand is quite hard to fall out of because you are squeezing in, you have 3 points of contact to the floor, and you're also using your elbows like a little shelf to rest your body on as you lift up. Then you're using your hands and your chin. Okay, so you have 3 points of contact on the floor. And actually, to overbalance, you would really need to fling yourself up and over because your neck is at such an angle that it creates tension. It creates like a force in the floor that is actively pressing your body away to stop you from overbalancing. So if you do overbalance, you probably end up going one either side, yeah? Don't worry too much about going over the top. That probably isn't going to happen, and if it does, that's not going to be so great for your neck. Okay, but it will mean that you are throwing yourself around. So this is also not really optimal in any kind of a yoga practice. As I said, this is a more advanced yoga asana or advanced yoga position. But what we need to find is equanimity, taking it as it is, take it in stages, practice knees, chest and chin, and then maybe practice in your knees, chest and chin, walking your hands a little bit further back towards your hips, squeezing your bum, squeezing your back muscles, and really trying to imagine maybe extending your legs in knees, chest and chin, so you have your legs straight. This is a perfect preparation for chin stand. Okay, my friends? So I hope you enjoyed that quick little tutorial. As always, please practice mindfully, please stay safe, and I will see you soon on the mat. Take it easy, guys.